And what began in Baltimore in 1982 as a program to keep families together during their children's medical crisis by providing housing has expanded beyond the city limits to offer hospital and respite housing to families in every state in 82 countries. Joining me to talk about their program is James Posel, the Director of Business Development for Believe in Tomorrow, and Alex Dodd, who is currently staying at St. Casimir's Hospital House, along with his mother, Megan. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So talk to me about this, you know, what you all do. Believe in Tomorrow.
So Believe in Tomorrow's core mission is to serve families who are in the midst of a medical crisis. So families like the Dodds and thousands of families throughout the country who have to come to, specifically we're connected with Johns Hopkins for our hospital housing, have to come to Hopkins for very intense treatment. We try to remove as much stress from their life in that situation as possible by offering them housing and other support services in Baltimore. Outside of hospital housing, we also provide respite housing to families so they can get away from the doctors and hospitals and the stress of that treatment and start to rebuild life as just a family away. So we offer those facilities in the Eastern Shore in Ocean City, and also in Fenwick Island, Delaware, in Western Maryland in Deep Creek, and also just outside of Asheville, North Carolina. We're expanding that program now, putting a lot of effort and fundraising into those facilities, and we're expanding in Ocean City to another house on 65th Street, and in Deep Creek right next to our current property that's up on top of West Mountain. So we're looking forward to some of our events this year to help fundraise and support those efforts.
Right, just allowing the family to focus on family as opposed to worrying about other things.
Absolutely,
like
absolutely. There's so much that comes to life when a child's medical crisis comes into that timeline. It is everything else kind of goes to the wayside, and you're instead dealing with the issue and the child's health. So we try and support the family to make the rest of their life as less stressful as possible while they're going through that issue, whatever it may be.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to talk to my buddy Alex here. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Marcus. Hi, Marcus.
Can I get a fist bump? I know we did that earlier. All right.
There you go.
And Mom.
And Mom. Yeah. So, Alex, tell me, I know you're staying at the house. What are some of the things you like to do? I know you were telling me you like to play games. What are some of the games you like to play?
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat game.
Pete the cat game. And you said sometimes you catch the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball.
And basketball?
And basketball is a big one.
Go.
And get a goal.
Go. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Go. And Megan, so tell me, what does it mean for you and your family to be able to receive these services?
It's truly been a gift. Finding out your child has cancer is definitely a life-changing experience, and as James mentioned, everything else just kind of falls off of the priority list as you're making decisions about treatments, making decisions about how you're going to manage all of his needs, and we live just a little bit too far to be home and feel comfortable. So being able to have housing at this location has just really been a gift and has just allowed us to meet his needs in a home away from home.
Right.
And then the respite program, we're looking forward to taking advantage of that program in the coming weeks for sure.
Yeah, and like that, just providing that getaway from it all.
Absolutely.
And so tell me, starting Believe in Tomorrow, the purpose of that was really for families like Megan.
It really was. Our founder and president of the organization is named Brian Morrison. We really are a Baltimore-based and founded organization. Brian started it as a volunteer effort, really, and it grew from there exponentially to what it is today. So much of the services that the families see, we offer housing to them, but the experience that they have while they're with us in our facilities, so much of that is driven still by volunteers. We do pride ourselves in being a fairly small-run nonprofit. We don't have a number of employees. We only have a few that are full-time. So much of what the families experience is actually done by volunteers, and we couldn't really offer what we do to families like the Dodds without them.
And I know, and so a couple of things before we have about 2 minutes left, but I want to talk about how can families, if they're interested in the program, how can they contact you all and how can they be a part of it?
Sure. There's a number of ways to be a part of what we offer to families. First, and ways to contact us as well. The first way that families can really come in and volunteer, we have a program and a number of volunteer opportunities at our houses in Baltimore. The Children's House at Johns Hopkins, the Children's House at St. Casimir, both have family supper programs, so families can come in every night of the year, 365 days a year. Families receive a meal from groups who've come in to volunteer. So they also don't have to worry about where their next meal comes from. Families are helping to support them that way. We have a volunteer coordinator at our house at Hopkins who coordinates all of that, and we can be reached in general at info@believeintomorrow.org for those things. But specifically, how can families help now? You can form teams, you can run, walk, or just come and support and volunteer our Port to Fort 6K, which is on Saturday, April 22nd. It's a large, very family-friendly run and walk in Locust Point. It's one of the only races in all of Baltimore that is granted access to Fort McHenry, so you have a beautiful view of Baltimore City and the harbor as you run around it. And it's just a great opportunity for families to come out, enjoy a beautiful day, and support a great cause.
Right, come out, support, have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And meet, and I'm sure meet families.
And meet
like
families, exactly. We're very, very happy and excited that it's the 21st anniversary event of the Port to Fort. We've been supported for those 21 years by the Home Depot, and this year I have great partnerships with great food that's going to be at the event. It makes it family friendly, but it's also good food. From the Iron Rooster is going to be supporting us this year, so if people come on out, you'll have a great family friendly time.
Right.
Yeah.
And Alex, when you have fun, do you have this much fun or do you have this much fun?
A lot of
fun. Well, thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you very much for giving us the
Thanks,
time.
Alex.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Fist bump.
Fist bump. That's right.
And the 21st annual Port to Fort 6K is Saturday, April 22nd at Cokefield in Locust Point. To register, go to porttofort.org and go to believeintomorrow.org for information on its programs.